Hello, my name is James McMahon. I'm the assistant principal at Mentor High School, and we appreciate you taking several minutes to view this presentation on the PSAT 8-9. You may remember back in October, all students in grades 8 at the 3 middle schools and in grade 9 at the high school here took the PSAT 8-9. It's a national exam that's given by the College Board. Thousands of students take the exam. The score reports come back in December and January, and the score reports can give a great deal of information as far as how a student, where a student stands with regards to academic skills in math, where a student stands in academic skills in reading and writing, and also in the world of college readiness benchmarks. The College Board does a lot of work with regards to college readiness. And so the PSAT can be very valuable as far as helping students and families understand where their child lies in preparation for college in grades 8 and 9. So we wanted to take a couple of minutes, go through the score report so that you have a real good understanding as far as what the numbers mean, what the data means, so forth and so on. So again, the PSAT was given back in October. Number of benefits for taking the PSAT. You get a baseline as far as college readiness. The PSAT also can help students prepare for the more kind of higher stakes college entrance exams, the SAT, and students will take that usually in their junior and senior year, but there's a significant amount of alignment between the PSAT and the SAT, and the more times a student sits for these types of exams, the better they do. In addition to that, students' results from their PSAT 8-9 can be used in order to organize or develop a kind of personalized learning plan through Khan Academy that can be very valuable over a period of time to get students ready for the SAT. So we'll kind of begin to go through how to set that up for students. And then the College Board has a number of college and career planning tools that kind of are based off of the PSAT, and we'll review that briefly just so you have a sense of how to access that information as you move forward in your high school career. It can be very valuable. So there's a number of different benefits for taking the PSAT. Students, you have received your paper score reports here, and we'll go through the paper version of this, but you can also view online score reports through the College Board website. And we just want to very briefly explain to you how to access your online PSAT 8-9 scores. Students, if you look at the first page of the front page of the PSAT 8-9 paper report there, down towards the bottom, you'll see where it says get your full report online at studentscores.collegeboard.org. And then to the right of that, you have a personalized access code that you'll need to enter that information into the online website for the College Board. There's some other information you'll need to enter, and then you can get access to your personalized online score through that website. So again, we have the paper score reports, just a basic information about how to access things with regards to online score reports. So let's look at a little bit more detailed as far as the paper score report. And on the screen here is the front page of the paper score report that students have. Again, you see that personalized access code in blue there. That's unique to each student, and the website as far as where to access the online report. Down at the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see that quadrant there that says free practice, and there is a website there, khanacademy.org/SAT. That will be the website that you'll visit to kind of organize the Khan Academy personalized learning plan if you have an interest in taking advantage of that. And again, we would encourage everyone, all students, to take advantage of that resource in the coming months because it can be very valuable for you. So let's talk, pardon me, a little bit more detail as far as your personalized scores. So students, if you open your score report to the inside and on the left page there, it indicates a lot of different types of information. We're going to go through this in some detail so you have a good understanding of what all these numbers mean and what all these colors mean as well. So there are two parts to the PSAT 8-9. There's an evidence-based reading and writing test, and then there's a math test. And on the left and right, you have your scores for those individual tests, and then that's put together, and obviously you get your total score for the test. So that's the circled areas there on the screen. Here is those particular scores that you received as far as the PSAT 8-9. Now, if you look immediately below the score on the evidence-based reading and writing score and then on the math score, there are two graphs there basically that are basically colored graphs, red and yellow and green. This is very important for you because this is where the College Board begins to assess college readiness at this point. So students, if you take a look on the left-hand side of this screen here, if your score is in the green category, that means that you are on track for college readiness in the world of evidence-based reading and writing. If you are in the yellow category, you're approaching that benchmark, meaning you're within a year or so of being kind of grade level ready as far as college readiness. And then if your score happens to appear in the red category, then from the College Board's perspective, you need to strengthen your skills in this particular area. So this begins to give to you a good understanding of where you may line up from a college readiness standpoint, even though you're only in 8th or 9th grade. So there's, again, a lot of time to make improvements to strengthen skills in both of these areas, obviously in math and in reading and writing, but it gives you a little bit of a snapshot as far as where you stand relative to college readiness, and that's a valuable piece of information for you. Now, further down on that page there's a lot of different kind of sub-scores and testing portions as far as specific portions of the assessment you took in October. I don't want to get a whole lot of detail, but I would just like to stress again to understand where your scores are at as far as the different color categories and what that might mean for you from a college readiness standpoint. So I would encourage you and your parents to look through this and, again, gauge where you're at relative to college readiness benchmarks from the College Board. Now, if we go back to the top of that score report there and look at the score percentiles, this can be an additional very valuable piece of information for you because the score percentiles gives you a sense of where you stand relative to all of the other students in the country who took the exam in October. So for example, this student, or this example on the screen here, scored in the 23rd percentile for his or her total score on the PSAT. That means that student scored better than 22% of the test takers in the country on testing day. So they're in the 23rd percentile. Higher is better, obviously, as far as the percentile numbers. But again, that's another valuable piece of information because it can give you a sense of where you're at relative to the test takers across the country. Gives you a good benchmark as far as where you currently stand. And again, you have a lot of time to make gains in these areas, and it's important to have that information, kind of early in your middle school or high school academic career. So students, if you turn the page over to the next page there as far as your scores, next steps, the College Board has designed a part of this score report that gives you some detailed information as far as your strengths and then areas that you might want to focus on as far as improving your skills and abilities. And in each of the three areas, in reading, in writing, and in math. And so we would encourage you and your family, you and your parents, to look through this information so that you have some more detailed descriptions from the College Board as far as where your strengths are and what you might want to work on as you move through your high school academic career. So that's a brief description of the paper score report. and all of the data that's included in there. So as far as kind of next steps or what happens next in this process, there's a couple of things we would just like to briefly touch on here in the last couple of minutes of our presentation here. The first resource that's available has to do with the College Board kind of partnering with Khan Academy and establishing kind of like a personalized tutorial service, literally, for individual students based on their PSAT 8-9 scores. And so this is just some brief information as far as how to pursue that resource. You'd go to satpractice.org. You're going to need to create your College Board account. Then you'll need to create a Khan Academy account and link those accounts. Once you do that, though, that will personalize kind of like a learning resource for you. It can be very valuable. In addition to that, the College Board runs 3 or so kind of additional resources that can be valuable for students. The first resource is called Big Future. And Big Future basically gets into the neighborhood of college search and trying to match students' strengths and interests with particular colleges that are out there. So we would encourage you to investigate that as far as a good resource for you. My Road is basically kind of a personality assessment that begins to, with different like Holland codes and some of the different career searches that begin to kind of try to develop a fit between students' strengths, their interests, and different career options that are out there. So Big Future, My Road are both available through the College Board. And then lastly, there is a student search service that is run by the College Board. And students who participate in the student search service, their scores, some questions that they fill in on the test, that information is given to a variety of different colleges and universities and scholarship programs, and those entities will contact students who they potentially have an interest in, almost kind of like recruiting as far as the world of college application process. So we would encourage you to consider participating in the student search service through the College Board because it can be very valuable for you. So that's just, again, some general information regarding the PSAT 8-9 as far as score reports and some resources that are available to you. We appreciate your attention very much. We hope the presentation has been helpful. Students, we strongly encourage you to take home your score report, share it with your parents so they have a good understanding of what you've received here. Students or parents, if you have specific questions or concerns about anything with the PSAT 8-9, your first point of contact would be your individual school counselor at either your middle school or at the high school here. I would also be more than happy to speak with anybody who'd have any questions or concerns. Again, my name is James McMahon. I'm the Mentor High School Assistant Principal. My email address is mcmahon@mentorschools.org, and the phone number here is 440-974-5217. So again, we appreciate your attention very much. Hope this has been valuable for you, and we wish you a very good second half of the school year here. Thank you.